Alrighty, we are ready now to factor a polynomial expression using the GCF rule. So remember, polynomial means many monomials connected by addition and subtraction. When we factor, we're rewriting this as multiplication. When we rewrite an expression as multiplication in algebra, we use our parentheses to show multiplication. So no dot, no X like third grade. To show multiplication in algebra, we use parentheses. So anytime you factor an expression, your answer will contain parentheses. So let's look at our first expression I have in your notes. 7x minus 7y. First of all, if you look at that, what operation did you hear me say? You heard me say subtract. Well, from what we learned so far, can you physically take 7x and subtract from it 7y? Good. No, you cannot. They're not like terms. So the problem is you can't do the operation you see there. That is why the directions are very specific now. The directions don't say simplify anymore. Because simplify is a vague word that means do the operation you see, and we can't do what we see there. We can't subtract. We do not have like terms. So the directions now say specifically factor the expression. Factor means to rewrite it as multiplication. The first rule of factoring you always try, is GCF. You look at all your terms, all your pieces, and you see if they have something in common, whether it be a number, a variable, or both. And you're going to pull it, divide it out. So let's look again. 7x, 7y. What number can they both be divided by? What factor do they have in common? Does everybody agree they both have the number 7 in common? Great. Then we would look at the variable. I have an x and I have a y. Do they have a letter in common? No. X and y are totally different. They have no letter in common. So we would just say the GCF of this expression is 7. Now, this is important. When you write your answer, it's going to look like multiplication. What you're going to do is you're going to put the GCF in front and then put a parentheses, and inside the parentheses, you put what would be left over after you factor out or divide out the 7. So, the GCF is 7, we're going to put that in front, and then in parentheses, we're going to say, okay, what's left over if we divide out that 7? So what is 7x divided by 7? Well, it's just the letter x. What is negative y divided by 7? Well, it's just the variable negative y. So do you see in parentheses I have written x minus y? That is factored form. When I say 7 parentheses x minus y, that expression is now connected by multiplication, because if I read it 7 times x minus y. And that's what factoring means. Rewrite it as a multiplication. Now, the great thing about factoring you're all going to love is you can check to see if you're right or wrong. Because we learned in the previous modules how to multiply algebra expressions, correct? So now, guys, we're going to use our multiplying skills to see if we're right. If we really want to know if 7 parentheses x minus y is factored correctly, let's multiply that out using our distributive property. What's 7 times x? 7x. What's 7 times negative y? Negative 7y. Are we back to our original expression? Sure are. That tells you factored correctly. That's all there is to it. So let's go to the whiteboard in the next video and try some expressions. See you then.